Today, I want to talk about why toes in nylons and pantyhose are so sexy. There's something about the reveal, the tease, such a thin barrier between your hand and her skin. Will you be lucky enough to get in? Or the ultra sheer view of her toes, just dying to be right under your nose. There are so many things that make nylons and pantyhose so sexy. I was actually on the phone last night with a very good friend of mine, Alex, one of my Becky buddies, and we were talking about, Alex, I want to know, are you a nylon and panty guy? And he was. I asked him, what makes them so sexy to you? And we both agreed on one thing. We both think that they add so much sex appeal and sensuality to a woman when she wears them. Not to mention, I just think that when a woman wears them, it says that she enjoys adorning her entire body with something sensual and soft. Also, there are just so many types of pantyhose and nylons. I think it's actually fairly similar to how a woman chooses her pedicure. I think it says a little something about her personality, whether she's into thigh highs, pantyhose, Cuban styles, or even fishnets. You might have a feisty one on your hands there. The only part of lingerie that you can see in public are nylons. Unlike panties or a sexy garter or a bra, this is something that you can strut around completely down the street in public and a guy can look and go, ooh, I bet that continues on up, 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 ooh, all the way to the top of sexy. Can't wait to see what's underneath this little dress. Also, not even just how they look, but how they feel. They are velvet smooth. Some, like fishnets, are textured and rough, just dying to be ripped apart, maybe by your teeth. Some are so silky smooth, I can barely stop touching them myself. Also, talk about the feel. Not even just for you, running your hand up someone's leg, but for me, as a woman, as someone who loves wearing nylons, they offer this light hug for your legs all day long. This light compression of your lower body that actually I've heard from a lot of gender fluid men and pantyhose wearing lovers that they enjoy that feeling too, keeping everything just a little tighter. Also, peeling off thigh highs like a banana, slowly and erotically. Oh, it just kind of reminds me of peeling off panties. Wondering what is underneath there, and I cannot wait to find out. So erotic. Sensuously stripping layer by layer off of a woman is the kind of foreplay that will get you everywhere. But I like to keep it fresh. And talking about all these different kinds of nylons and pantyhose, I think it's time for me to make a quick change. Be right back. Thank you for your patience while I changed into my next favorite pair of pantyhose to show off. A pair of super sheer nude pantyhose. So sheer you can just see my pedicure straight through. Now, once we have these sexy little bits off the fun does not stop, because another part that makes nylons and pantyhose so sexy is that they are the perfect material to trap that delicious foot odor. You know the one I'm talking about. It wicks away all the sweat and that special little scent, particular to every person. I won't lie, you know I love the smell of my own feet, and my favorite thing to wear to the gym, especially on leg day, are a pair of super sheer nude pantyhose. I get home and they're so intoxicating. I have to literally peel off my pantyhose like a banana all the way down. But before I get them right into the hamper, and don't lie, you would probably do this too. I can't resist just taking a quick whiff. I think it's the most healthy aromatherapy out there. Or consider this. They also make a very lovely gift. I was out recently on a meet and greet with my good friend Marlon. Marlon, I hope you're watching. And I found out that Marlon was also a nylon and pantyhose enthusiast. So I thought, what better way to treat him and make him feel extra special on our lunch date than to wear a pair of super sheer nude nylons. So sheer, he couldn't even tell that I was wearing anything until I crossed my legs on the table, slipped off a shoe, and dangled it so close to his leg. I think his eyes might have just popped out of his head. He was so excited. Then, to make it even more special, I snuck off to the bathroom before we left, took off each pair, and came back to the table, slyly slid them right across to Marlon, and said, "Those are for you." I think he was once again so surprised. But Marlon, I hope you enjoyed your little take-home gift. Much better than just leftovers. And if you did, be sure to leave a testimonial in the comments below. Well, that is all the time I have for today on Talk the Talk. But before I go, real fast, I cannot resist just covering how many flavors of the rainbow there are when it comes to nylons and pantyhose. Now, there are thigh highs, pantyhose, black, nude, fishnets. Some taste so good you just want to rip them off with your teeth because you can't get to the legs fast enough in those tasty little toes. So, let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you like, here's a taste. But if you hate, here are my nylons in your face.